Claire continued to stare at the surroundings, disbelieving what was happening even if she knew it was realistic. As I mentioned, this simulation is meant to introduce you to the basic levels of being an adventurer. Darlena said to Claire, "The first thing we're going to start off with is a basic weapon, which you'll be using." In front of Claire appeared a large rack with a variety of weapons. Though she was expecting the typical swords and cold weapons, her eyes were drawn towards items she wasn't expecting. Pointing, Claire asked, "Guns? Why are those things here? I thought they weren't effective against modified humans." That's correct. From our information, guns seem to have lost any effect on modified humans. Darlena nodded her head. But then, why are you guys offering guns? Claire didn't understand what Star and Moon was thinking, giving weapons that would be useless against the things adventurers would be fighting against in the future. Walking over to the rack, Darlena picked up the firearm. It was significantly larger than the typical handgun. The grip, about the same as a handgun, but the barrel was significantly different. Though this appears like a gun, it's actually far stronger. Darlena waved a hand and a human-sized target materialized. Taking aim, Darlena pulled the trigger and fired a beam of light. A hole the size of an orange was left where the heart would have been located. As you can see, instead of bullets, this fires out a beam of energy. We do have weapons that fire objects similar to a bullet, but just like this weapon, those have a bigger impact. It went to the rack and returned the gun to where it belonged. Claire stared at the massive hole. How? She stammered, but then remembered the weapons the people who escorted her to the base used. Compared to the versions that use a physical object, the energy weapons have little to no kick to them. They make an ideal choice for adventurers who want to fight from a long distance. Darlena continued. It walked over to a selection of long-range weapons. We also have bows, crossbows, and throwing weapons, in addition to firearms. These are all the basic versions, so their effectiveness against modified humans at this point is practically non-existent. But as you train and gather the stones and raw material inside the monsters in the simulation, you'll be able to trade for higher grade weapons. Even though Claire felt like everything was beyond what she could imagine, she still appreciated how skilled Darlena was with selling various weapons to her. Since you'll be starting, you have the option of selecting 2 weapons. This is due to the benefits you've received. Typically, an adventurer would only be given 1 weapon for free. Snapping its fingers, Darlena made a clothing rack appear. Hanging on the stand was simple appearing armor. You'll also be starting off with basic leather armor to protect your torso. This also is provided to you at no cost, though the superior version can be purchased in the future at a premium. Realizing that Darlena was expecting Claire to make a selection, she walked over to where the weapons were located. Don't worry about not having the experience using the weapon you select. This simulation is about getting you at a sufficient level to be effective when growing your level. Darlena reassured Claire, as though anticipating that Claire would be factoring such thinking when selecting a weapon. When Claire heard that experience wasn't a factor necessary for choosing a weapon, there was a feeling of reassurance. That means I can select a weapon purely based on whether it's compatible with me. Checking out each of them, Claire tried to think about how it'd be used when fighting modified humans or unexpected creatures out in the world. She felt as though she needed to take advantage of the training she'd be getting from Star and Moon, so haphazardly deciding a weapon would be a foolish thing to do. Walking past the weapons, Claire's eyes fell on a weapon she thought may be her first choice. She reached out to grab it from the rack.